Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey, answering all of your questions in our latest mailbag, our Monday live shows. As the questions come in, we answer them live, unless there is a super thanks. We'll hit those as they come in throughout the week and bring them up here on the Monday show. From CJ DeYoung III, hey Tom, it's been a minute. Happy to have you back here, CJ. Are the Cowboys set on offense? A lot of D taken, it seems. Now, this technically came in right before the end of the draft, so, they did take, I think, Deuce Vaughn after the Super Chat came in. Not sure the exact timing on that one, but maybe not. Kicker's an area of concern. I am still worried about that left guard role. I would not mind some more additions coming for the Cowboys on that side of the football. From Seth, I think as a fan base, we overhyped Ferg and Peyton Hendershot. They have upside, but overhyped. Take Michael Mayer if they're round one. The next ones you'll see came in before the draft began. He was there. They did not take him. They did take tight end early because I think the Cowboys agree with you on Ferg and Hendershot. From William White, just says, thanks. No, William, thank you. Anytime you guys do a super thanks, we will show you some love here on the Cowboys Report. It's a feature that allows you to donate outside of live videos. I really appreciate every single person who does that, or even just likes the videos, comments, shares, subscribe. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you all so much. Mighty Ant 0215, do you think Schoonmaker was Jerry's dementia pick? I think if we don't draft OG after Reisner, so this came in, again, before the draft, and they did draft the Sim Richards out of North Carolina, who could play some guard. He was a tackle, though, at North Carolina, and I don't think a fifth-round pick is going to be the reason why you prevent yourself from signing somebody if you want to go that route. Now, Dalton Reisner was not the best last year, had a bit of a down year, got into a bit of a squabble at the end of the year with one of the backup quarterbacks, but Denver's sideline was kind of a mess in and of itself. I'm really not that worried about it because their head coach was a dumpster fire. I'll chalk that up to just general frustration. He'll be okay long term. I think he was also backing somebody else on the team, by the way, in that particular issue. But comp picks no longer impact the formula. So, yeah, if you can get Dalton Reisner, I'm down. So, name a free agent who you guys want the Cowboys to go out and sign this offseason. Drop that player name for me at the pinned comment of today's video. The ad break comes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Ecuador man AOG, bad draft, and Zeke, kill me now. Hey, maybe they owe us some, maybe we owe the Cowboys just a little bit of trust in the end. From Chris B, we'll be fine. We still got Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks, 10-plus wins. We would have, if the Cowboys in those deals during the draft, we would have been in shambles all offseason, and then over the moon come draft time. Ended up being the reverse since those went down before the draft. Lee Macho, Tom, can you rank the 4 NFC East teams as they are right now? Tier 1, I think the Eagles are ahead of the Cowboys. They made it further in the playoffs. Their team is still very good, but it'd probably be one of those two teams win the division. But NFC East curse, so maybe it's not Philly. So those two Tier 1, Giants Tier 2, Commanders way below. I'm sorry, I don't believe in Sam Howell. Chris Wise, $5. How about Taylor Lewan? Get a discount since this podcast will blow up with him being a Cowboy, moving OT to guard. I wouldn't worry too much about the podcast side. The Cowboys like to think that the star earns them a discount. It's not much how NFL players do business, though. Although there's not much interest in Lewan. I don't know if he can stay healthy. I also get worried about moving an injured tackle to guard. That often can lead to more injuries. See Zach Martin trying to play tackle after being a guard. That's why a big reason why he got hurt. So I would not. If you want a left tackle, sure, backup left tackle is fine, but starting guard, I would just go get an actual guard. Zeno saying, so with the Cowboys drafting a running back, does that mean that there is a 0% chance the Cowboys re-sign Zeke as a fullback? No Jeremy slander. I don't think Zeke, wants to be a fullback, to be clear on that front. I think he wants to be a running back. Now, the short yardage back role isn't necessarily filled at this stage, which I do think, again, is a potential red flag from that perspective. Maybe. I don't think it's 0. I think it's like maybe 5. Let's check in and see how training camp potentially go for Dallas. Jimmy Productions, would you have wanted Tucker Kraft in the second instead of Luke Schoonmaker? I did have Tucker Kraft over Luke Schoonmaker on my personal board. Clearly the Cowboys disagreed from that perspective. They weren't They weren't on board with that one necessarily. Clearly they weren't. Maybe there was a medical. He only Kraft got hurt this past season. But yes, I would have taken Kraft over Schoonmaker. Of the healthy tight ends, it was Kraft, then Schoonmaker left on the board for me. Speaking of the draft, the Mazi Smith jerseys are now available. Chatsports.com/Mazi. That link is in the comments section and the description of today's show. Chatsports.com/Mazi. You can get the 58 rookie jersey for Mazi Smith. It's only available in the navy right now. In theory, the white ones will come about in a little bit, but chatsports.com/Mazi. Vince, any other draft pick other than Mazi Smith, an upgrade over the guys that are already here on one particular spot? I think this is like starting options for you, right? Mazi Smith. I think Luke Schoonmaker might start a lot sooner than what you guys want to believe. He's a better blocker than Ferguson, and he's a better athlete, and Hendershot too, and a better athlete as well. Now, the tight end learning curve is real, so might be a factor there, but I think Schoonmaker has a good chance to earn that tight end starting job in Dallas. The Lunatic, what issues do you think Dallas saw with Osiris Torrance? I think general quickness and mobility. They clearly were not that high on him. I liked him a lot more. I knew that Dallas didn't like him as much. I think it was the mobility aspect and getting to the second level that caused him to fall in general, frankly. Donnell Graves re-signed Jason Peters. I wonder if he's just going to retire. Maybe you feel a little bit better about him as a left guard, left tackle backup option. You feel better about that spot overall, but I don't know if Peters is going to play at much more in the future. We'll have to wait and see on that front. From Krill Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins trade. I would not get my hopes up for that one. I would be surprised if Hopkins got moved to Dallas. It's not their MO. He still wants money. Now he's saying he never said he wanted out of Arizona, which, okay, that's kind of not true. I think the answer is going to be no on that front. What is the percent chance, folks, that the Cowboys trade for DeAndre Hopkins? Sound off in the comment section. I think it is very low. I think there is next to zero chance Hopkins, unless he gets cut shockingly, ends up as a Cowboy. Dave Boss, 1234 Hill. What do you see Overshone doing for us so they can move to strong safety? If anything, he moves down a level to edge. He's not going to play strong safety. He'll be a box linebacker for you. Not that the weak side linebacker role is that drastically different than strong safety. I mean, Jaron Kearse is basically a linebacker for Dallas. He spends most of his time in the box there. But I don't see him going back to strong safety. I think that kind of, maybe some overhang role stuff, but mostly weak side linebacker and some blitzing stuff, maybe even off the edge. Ecuador man was not pleased with the Cowboys draft. First round pick was a C, second round D+, third B+, mediocre at best. And it's only one game, but TCU slapped boys first two picks. That was not Mazi Smith's best game, but I also don't think Steve Avila dominated it the way that I've seen some people say. Smith did still have some wins in that matchup, but yeah, that was not Mazi's best game, and maybe it was one of Avila's better games. There's still plenty of juicy athletic upside to make it worthwhile for Mazi Smith. How did the Cowboys have the tight end rank? So I think they had I know Todd Archer has said he thought their board was Sam Laporta, Dalton Kincaid, Michael Mayer. I don't know if that's true or not. They pulled Darnell off because of medical concerns. So it probably would have gone something along the lines of Mayer, Kincaid, Laporta at the top, and then probably Schoonmaker over Tucker Kraft, and Luke Musgrave maybe was fourth on that list, somewhere in that range. But I know they pulled Darnell off their board because of medical issues in the end. Our mailbags pretty much only watched by subscribers, at least live, because when we answer all the questions. So if you want to join our mailbags, our award-winning, thanks to my mom, thank you, Jeremy, sound off in the comment section and join and make sure you are subscribed for more free Cowboys videos. Red Hurricane, when anything hurts, will finally beat Dak. From a purely entertainment perspective, we were robbed this past year of a Cowboys-Eagles playoff matchup to settle the quarterback argument and the Eagles-Cowboys argument, since Eagles beat Cooper Rush, and Dallas beat Gardner Minshew. It would have been nice this past year to settle it. Guess we'll have to do it this year. Something tells me they will once again split the matchup because that's how good teams tend to go. From Bucked Up, is Zeke really gonna come back? I don't think Elliott ends up returning in the end. As Lee Kruger says, #Cowboys, yes, bring back Zeke. Jerry has left the door open publicly. Behind the scenes, it kind of sounds like Zeke's looking at other spots, and I kind of think Dallas is just going to, unless Zeke comes crawling back to them or begging to come back, they're just going to be we're going to give the we like our guys speech to the young players in the end. Lee clearly says yes here, but what do you guys want? Do you want the Cowboys to bring back and I guess technically re-sign Ezekiel Elliott? Sound off in the comments section. Y for yes, N for no. TKG, could you see Deuce playing a Beasley, Switzer, Turpin, fast and sneak as how small he is role? No. Deuce Vaughn is going to be a running back. That is what he does. The Beasley, Switzer, Turpin, jet sweep role? No. Those are for receivers who are probably a bit faster than what Deuce Vaughn is. Deuce Vaughn's a running back. Now, he'll catch some passes, sure, but it's not going to be I don't think, some kind of like specialized gadget role because they can't even do that for Turpin right now. I think they'll give it to him, and then Deuce Vaughn will just be a running back. Lunatic, are we going to a 3-4 defense? 3-4-4-3 doesn't really matter that much anymore. You've got edge, defensive line. Their base is still a 4-3. Now, there will be times they'll roll a linebacker or a safety down. They've been plenty of multiple looks over the years, but they're mostly in nickel. So don't worry too much about 4-3, 3-4 base because you ask the same jobs out of different positions these days. That delineation is mostly overblown. Jimmy, my friend doesn't think Stroud will be a good NFL quarterback because Ohio State has never had a good NFL quarterback. Fun fact, Cal, Aaron Rodgers won't be good because, Kyle Bowler was bad. Texas Tech has never had a good quarterback. How can Mahomes be good? When has Mississippi State had a good quarterback, right? Like, that's not really how NFL teams. Also, Justin Fields was actually kind of good last year. If we're only basing it on the helmets, it is brought to you by the same people who think Mazi Smith and Taco Charlton are the same player because of the logo they wore in college. And there's no correlation. From Engen Serzerman, hey, Tom, when are the Fatties only tees coming? I want one. The request has been submitted. It is a slower than ideal process, but I have requested to bring back the Fatties only T-shirts. They were a 2020 creation, and then they got like basically just retired there. If you would like one, send in an official complaint to Brett@chatsports.com, or just hit me up on Twitter @WhatGoingDowney. My DMs are open. There were some people who bought them. Those are a collector's item. If you have one, send me a photo, and we'll see if we can't get them brought back at some point in the not-too-distant future. DM me on Twitter @WhatGoingDowney.